before I ask you about your favorite products and body lotions and all this kind of stuff, I want to ask you one of the things. This is called Ageless. My
Neat.
podcast is
Right. Sure.
Ageless with Jane McGarry. And when I think of ageless, what I mean by that is, yes, I pay attention to skincare and the things that we're talking about and all that. But also, in a sense, I don't pay attention to my age. I want to continue to learn new things, to grow. I don't want to be um, stopped
Yeah.
by my age. Is that something you relate to? I mean, what your mindset as you age? What is your mindset, and how much difference does it make in your aging?
I have to tell you, Jane, this sounds so cliche. And as it's coming out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, please. But it's the truth. I'm being authentic. I think my 60s are my sexiest, most confident, uh, most fun uh, decade that I've ever had.
I love that.
I
I
really mean
love
that.
that.
And,
Why?
well, in my 20s, I was so self-conscious and so like, am I measuring up? And then in my 30s, I was so focused on, I've got to get pregnant. I've got to get pregnant. I have to have the baby. Then I have to have a second baby. How fast can I get them? My body's at my 40s were all about focusing on hunter and sports and all of that. My 50s were helping with Jerry and going through his difficulty, getting Hunter into the right college. And my 60s are just like, oh my God, I can just relax and I can just, um, I I feel comfortable in my body. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. I'm fine to tell somebody what I want. I feel really good about my weight. I'm not worried about, pregnant or not getting pregnant or, menopause. I'm over all of that. I just feel so good. And to answer your question about your mind, I am going with Tim tomorrow morning to Scotland and we're going pheasant hunting. Now, ask me if I'd ever pheasant. Never. Ask me if I want a pheasant hunt. I'm not so sure. But I'm going to go out because I got a cute outfit. I have knickers and I have a tweed jacket and a fun hat. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to meet new people and I'm going to try it. And,
Yeah.
anybody who's against hunting, I understand, but these pheasants are raised particularly for this hunt and we're going to eat them afterward. So if you eat any fish or any chicken, kind of the same thing. Um, and I love doing these new adventures. I love it. And I'm so open to it and I'm willing to try anything once. So, and I
You know,
have the time to do that now.
okay, I didn't want to pry, but since you mentioned it just briefly, for women who maybe are afraid about intimacy when they're older, or in fact, I think a good friend of mine, Dr. Jessica Shepard, who is here in Dallas, and she and
Yes.
I have done a podcast on hormones and how important all of this is. And we've talked about women's health in detail about intimacy at an
Yeah.
older age. But do you have encouragement for women as to whether things can work well when you're older? You mentioned that you know what you want now.
Yes. Yeah. I do.
And you're not afraid to say it.
Yeah, we do, we do. Um, so here is my thing. I went to my doctor when I knew I was getting married. And I said, I want to talk to you about this in a medical way. And we did. And she said, if you have any fears, there's this, and this that you can add to your health regime. And also just trust your body too, that your body will respond in the way it's supposed to, even if it has been a very long time since, your husband passed away or, whatever in your life. And I just have to tell you, when you are with the right person and when they are so gentle and kind to you, and when you're madly in love, it is amazing how the body just responds no matter what your age, ladies, no matter what your age, your body responds. And don't be afraid to go and find out the right things to help you if it doesn't.
And I love that you're saying that because sometimes it is confusing and you're
Yeah.
not sure. Ask someone. Don't be afraid to ask. And I
Yeah.
agree with you. I mean,
Right?
my experience has been that with the right help and with the
Yeah.
right someone to explain things to me, my intimate life is as good as it's ever been. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate you opening
Absolutely.
up about that. I appreciate you being open about that. I
Yeah.
know women look to you. Okay,
Thanks.
so what are right now as you're in your 60s. I think you said you're 66.
66. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a couple years older than you.
Love it. You look great.
So, thank you. What are your main skin issues or beauty products? What are you relying on right now that what are your problem areas and what are you relying on? Give me 2 or 3 of them.
Okay, here's the first thing. So after cancer, I changed my entire skin regime to finding things that are, clean beauty. I don't use anything with parabens, phthalates, or fragrance. I find lines such as like Womaness, and you can get it at Target. It's under $40. I do a lotion every day and every night. No fragrance in it. And your skin is your largest organ, so you don't want chemicals going in there because it can affect your body. And so I use hydration with the moisturizer every day, every night. Just got out, wonder if you can tell, just got out of a spray tan by Natalie, who comes to my home. A spray tan, ladies, can hide a myriad of flaws. You just get your tan on. You can either use, a $20 lotion that you get from Target or wherever and just put it all over your body. And it really does. It just helps any of those little dimples or those little, areas that you're just like, I'm not feeling that great about. So
Yes.
I
Yes,
in a
I
spray
know.
tan. Absolutely. And makeup or skincare that is not comedogenic and also clean. And here's two really quick, almost free tips. In the morning when I am going to be on Jane McGarry's show or on a TV show or doing God's table, I get a bowl and I fill it with cold water and then I put as much ice as I can in it. And then I hold my hair back and I dump my face for about 30 seconds, even 20, into the bowl of ice. When you come up, your skin is snatched, your pores are tight, your inflammation is reduced, and it costs you zero. And it takes 20 seconds. So you do that. The next thing is I always keep with me blotting pads, but I found that if you go into the ladies' room in any place and you get a piece of the toilet seat cover and you get here, here, and here, it absorbs the oil and it leaves your makeup in perfect place. It costs you zero. So I love to give tips. Do I use La Mer? Yes. Do I use other products that are really expensive? Yes. But I can invest in a spray tan if I'm doing ice water. So it's just all about finding that balance.
I love that. A spray tan, ice water,
The-
and the toilet seat cover.
Hello.
Oh, no. Perfect. That's perfect. Okay. Want to finish on a little bit of a reflective note, I guess. One of the things that made me want to start this podcast
Yeah.
was that I'm in an age where I would say a lot of nights and most mornings I wake up and I think to myself, wow, I only have, I don't know, I don't know how long
Yeah.
I have left, but I know that I'm nearer the end than the beginning.
Yeah.
And so I really think a lot about what I want to do, and it makes me have a different perspective on things.
Yeah.
Do you think about that kind of stuff? Do you wake up and think, gee, maybe I only have 20 summers left or 20 Christmases? How did that happen? But do you
Yeah.
think about that kind of stuff and what do you do with it? Because I know a lot of women think about it. What do you do with it when you think
So,
about it?
it's so interesting you say that. Sunday at Vintage Malibu, my church, the minister, Chris Bennett, was talking about the power of our words. And, Jane, I do think about it. I let it in, and I know obviously my age, and I know how much his span is. And I think about that with Kym. He's 70. We have a 4-year age difference. And, it's relevant. It's there. You don't want to be a ding dong and not think about it. But in my word, whenever he or someone around us is like, you know what, well, you're getting older. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm feeling great. I'm better than ever. Every cell in my body is working. God gives me promises that I am going to have a long and abundant life. And I just rebuke that. So, no. And I make sure that my words about my life and about my time is like, I'm going to live my life to the fullest. And you know what? Cancer is never coming back on me. Never, ever. And God has got his hand on my life. And I just speak words of not ridiculous affirmation, but real affirmation over myself. And I believe that. And I believe that for my friends and my family. And I think that does shift the perspective a little where you're not naive, like, oh, I'm here for another 50 years, but you're also not kind of focusing on that. You're just like, ah, look at this morning. Look at this day that I have. I'm so grateful for it. And I'm going to go out and live life to the fullest. And I kind of flipped the switch on that.
I am grateful for the time that you have spent with us today.
Me
I
too.
really appreciate it. Where can people find you and all that kind of
Oh
stuff?
my gosh. I'm
And
so
I know they're
glad
going to want to
you,
follow you
I'm
now.
so glad you asked. I'm looking to build up my Instagram. And you know what? I do things that are positive and they are faith-based. So I lose followers because I talk about faith a little bit and positivity. So I would love any of your followers that want faith-based and positive things to follow me at Kym K.
I love
Douglas.
the soft. I know.
Kym
I love that.
Kym Douglas.
Kym Douglas.
Yes, and it's KYM, not KIM. So my Instagram, you can follow me. You could find out about the upcoming book about Tim and I, our love story, and it's called Love After Loss. And God's Table is on YouTube or any podcast platforms that you listen to your podcast. And I just loved being on this with you, Jane. You're a force to be reckoned with. You're a wonderful, positive person. You're a girl's girl, and I love your energy.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your being on with me today. And I'm just thrilled for you. I'm really, really happy
And
for
you're
you.
next.
And I hope I get to see you the next time I'm in California, which I hope is
Absolutely.
soon. Thank you so much for subscribing and being part of the Ageless community. I call it a community because this Ageless with Jane McGarry is part of our community. We're going to be taking girls' trips together. We're going to be doing a lot of fun things as part of this community. And without you, it's not possible. So thank you for being part of Ageless with Jane McGarry. Have a great day.